Hello. Good morning. Yo, my eyes are doing the thing with the thing. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Okay, so this morning I want to talk about timing, times and seasons. Times and seasons. I want to talk about times and seasons. You know, um, I'm just gonna go straight into it. One of the things about, excuse me. Hi, good morning. One of the things about um our lives, or the life that we live, is that we have a sort of subconsciously fixed time and season for everything. And it's everyone. Everyone just has this subconscious clock in their mind, ticking away with their age, ticking away with their life experience, being ticked away by their parents and the environment. There is that subconscious knowing is there, that presence, that assurance, that certainty that, oh, this is how my life is going to go, right? I'm going to do this, and after I do this, I'm going to do that. And it starts from childhood. Once you are like 6 months old. Oh, excuse me. The weather is cool. It's making me very drowsy-ish, sleepy-ish this morning. But yeah, I'll say once you're like 6 months old, they start asking your mom, is she still doing exclusive breastfeeding? Is the baby still exclusively breastfeeding? How long are you gonna keep that for? Once the child is one, the child is managing to stand and walk, child can say a couple words. Nice. When is this child gonna start school? Child starts preschool or kindergarten, you know. And before you know it, it's from that to nursery to primary school to high school, and it goes on and on and on. And so by the time, at first children grow up, when we are children, we really don't have a sense of this race with time. We don't have a sense of that race with time, right? We're just living. Children are just living their lives. And so at some point you realize that there's actually a race with time, right? And it becomes real when, after secondary school, some children go to university straight away, some don't, some go learn something else, some decide they're not furthering their education, they want to learn a business or a trade. And you start to see that disparity, and you start to see times and seasons be functional in the life of everyone. And you see it much earlier, but it's not as clear, as strongly obvious to you as when you start to gain some level of consciousness socially. And that's much later, like a higher level of social consciousness. Because when you're a child, it's not as great. There's social consciousness, but it's not the biggest part of your life as much as when you become, you enter into your teens. And you start to see that disparity. And with that knowledge, of the fact that, oh, I'm different from everyone and we're on different journeys, you start to compare yourself. And in comparing yourself, you start to fall under that pressure of the times. Like, oh, I'm supposed to have done this by now. This person has done this. I've not done this. This person is in this place. I'm not there yet. It just builds like that. It builds like that till it becomes a conscious thing. And so now you're somebody who is racing against time. And because they are fixed times, when we don't do the things that we should do at that time, it feels like this season has gone. Oh my gosh. Like, I'm sorry. This weather is messing with me. It's so cool. It's been so cool since yesterday. I overslept today even. That's why I started live late. It's been so cool this morning. Just really cool. Um, you know, as I was saying, as there's more consciousness of the difference between you and other people, there's more consciousness of the time. You know, as the social awareness increases, the desire for a certain type of life increases, the knowledge that this is how I want to live increases, and everything just increases and increases till before you know it, you have grown up with a fixed idea of how life is supposed to go. It's all of us, it's every single one of us. It's not, this is not particular to one person. And so the reason that I want to talk about times and seasons today is I want to remind someone, I want to encourage someone, I want to tell them that it's not late. You know, when we say that thing, we say it's not too late. Too late implies that there's already a measure of lateness to the thing. I'm saying it's not even late at all. It's not even late at all. I'm saying whatever that thing is that you have pondered and wondered about doing, that you felt like, but I'm not at the age to do that. Says who? Is there a law? There's no law. Some of the biggest businessmen today, globally, I mean, I'm sure everybody knows the KFC story. But the KFC story did not start until this man was well past his middle age. So there must be that acceptance, right? And there are so many reasons why we may not have done the things that we planned or aimed to achieve in life. There's so many reasons. It could be a host of things, and that's fine. That's fine. But it's the ability to say, okay, well, if it was, oh, this was my mistake, I got here by my own doing, still fine. I got here by, not paying attention to stuff, still fine. I got here by not learning what I needed to learn as I went due, still fine. It's understandable, that's okay. Now, where there's a problem is, and now because I'm here, it's too late to start again, or it's late. I can't do those things again. I can't go anywhere again. I can't. That's a lie. Every time you think that, right? Um, what you should do is ask yourself, says who? What rule says that you cannot start again? What rule says that it's too late for you to start the course? It's too late for you to get back on track. It's too late for you to start all over. There's no rule that says that. So when you say it's late, that's fear speaking. That's not reality. I watched a video yesterday of one of my currently favorite movie producers, right? And she said, don't bring negativity wrapped in wrapped in the cloak of reality. I'm paraphrasing now, but that was basically the message. And that's what we do. A lot of times we we engage pessimism and negativity, and we tell ourselves that we're being realistic. What's realism? Realistically speaking, there is no law. There's no law that puts a limit. Yes, there are organizations. So now, yes, I will admit there are organizations where if you want to study, they say, oh, you can't do it past this is the age limit. If you want to get maybe some sort of sponsorship, some sort of um scholarship, there's age limit. But those are specific people's standards. That's not life, that's not a life standard. The concept of is too late, right? Or is late is not a life thing. It's a people thing. The concept of life is more that if you sow, you will reap. And what that means is that if you sow and you've reaped, you can sow again. You can get that degree in your 50s. There's no point. There's no There's no there's no law holding you in place. Would it have been easier on you to get it in your 20s? Probably. But if you didn't get it in your 20s and it's still available in your 50s, well, by all means, go ahead and get it. Time doesn't stop moving, right? Time will never stop moving. And so anything you were supposed to do yesterday that you did not do, of course, you will feel like it's late. But I'm saying there's no principle that says you can't do that thing today. I'm not encouraging procrastination. If you're supposed to do something, do it. I'm saying if it so happens by virtue of your own maybe your own laziness, your own defaulting, or circumstances beyond your control, your situation, I'm saying if there's any reason why you couldn't do what you needed to do at the previous time, at what the perceived right time is, I'm saying time doesn't run out, it keeps going. So you can still do it. You can still do it. It's better to still try than to conclude by yourself that it's too late. An example of someone who taught this in the Bible was Sarah, Abraham's wife. And on that day that Abraham hosted, I don't know why I switch between Abraham and Abraham, but I do that. On the day that Abraham hosted angels, you know, they said, according to the time of life, by this time next year, you will have a son. And Sarah laughed. Sarah laughed because in her head, she's like, have a son, how? Now, Sarah had given up on that for years, years before they even came. She had even tried to troubleshoot it. The guilt we can feel like, oh, because it's late, I'm not gonna, let me not bother, let me be realistic with myself. She had gotten him to sleep with the maid servant. They already had Ishmael. So she had given up, like at least you won't say you don't have a child, at least you have a child, you have an heir. She had given up. And so when they said that thing to her, like according to the time of life, she laughed. She's like, right? And you know what? I want to just read the story out. It's in Genesis, I think 18. Genesis 18. So, so, um, I'm gonna read the message version, right? So I'm going to read from the beginning of the chapter for context. God appeared to Abraham at the oaks of Mamre while he was sitting at the entrance of his tent. It was the hottest part of the day. He looked up and saw three men standing. He ran from his tent to greet them and bowed before them. He said, Master, if it please you, stop for a while with your servant. I'll get some water so you can wash your feet. Rest under this tree. I'll get some food to refresh you on your way since your travels have brought you across my path. They said, Certainly, go ahead. Abraham hurried into the tent to Sarah. He said, Hurry, get 3 cups of her best flour, knead it, and make bread. Then Abraham ran to the cattle pen and picked out a nice plump calf and gave it to the servants who lost no time getting it ready. Then he got curds and milk and brought them with the calf that had been roasted, set the meal before the men, and stood there under the tree while they ate. The men said to him, Where is Sarah, your wife? He said, In the tent. One of them said, I'm coming back about this time next year. When I arrive, your wife Sarah will have a son. Sarah was listening at the tent opening just behind the man. Abraham and Sarah were old by this time, very old. Sarah was far past the age of having babies. Sarah laughed within herself. An old woman like me get pregnant with this old man of a husband? God said to Abraham, Why did Sarah laugh, saying, Me, have a baby, an old woman like me? Is anything too hard for God? I'll be back about this time next year, and Sarah will have a baby. Sarah lied, saying, Sarah lied. She said, I didn't laugh because she was afraid. She didn't expect that they would realize what she was thinking. But he said, Yes, you did laugh, right? And so, what stood out to me, right, is how um Sarah had given up, and rightly so. I mean, considering the situation, it made sense that she had given up. She had given up. Not only had she given up, she had given up for herself. She had given up for her husband. He's too old to father a child. I'm too old to conceive one. So you know what? We're both just a couple oldies, and I've accepted my lot. Some of you accept your lot too easily. In say at least in Sarah's case, they were really old. Some of you accept your lot in your 20s. Some of you accept your lot as teenagers. This is how my life is. Oh, it's late to try and do anything. Says who? Says who? Says who? It's not late for anything. It's you, it's your heart. It's a heart issue. It starts from how you are engaging this life and living. It's not late. It's not late to take the exam. It's not late to and this works inversely, right? Because I've been speaking about being late in the sense of starting something. It's also not too late to stop whatever you've been doing that is not good. You can't say, maybe I'm in my 60s, maybe I'm in my 50s. You know how long I've been doing this. It's not late. You know how that's I call it bakamu. It's one of the words I use a lot. Bakamu is like just acceptance, that sense of calm acceptance. Like it is what it is. Says who? Story of somebody that I love so much is this man who was at the pool. This lame man. This man was at that pool for 38 years. And he was there. He had no one to help him. But he kept staying there, knowing that one day he would go in there. He didn't think because he was born that way from birth. The blind man. Was it the blind man or the lame man? You see, the things always mix in my head. It was the blind man. Yes, the pool of Bethesda. It was a Bethesda. It was the blind man. Oh, it was a crippled man. You see, yes, it was blind. There are people there, blind, lame, paralyzed. This is why I always want to fact check. The stories mix up in my head a lot. Okay, so this was a lame man. He was paralyzed. And so he couldn't walk into the pool and he needed help for someone to get him into the pool. And this was 38 years there, knowing that one day something would happen. There's nobody to help him, but one day something would happen. Something would happen. You have to be in that place where you know that something can always happen. Something can always happen. There is no law, there is no rule, there's nothing that says it cannot be done now. Get rid of that defeatist mindset. That acceptance that you think is humility, but it's actually a sense of pride. It's something that says, I can't be doing this now. I've come too far. It's also that sense of disbelief because what could possibly change? How could things possibly get better? What could I possibly do? Excuse me. Get rid of that mindset. Get, oh, Jesus, excuse me. I have to drink water. Oh, I do not like the hiccups. Get rid of that mindset. That just accept that something cannot happen, especially for you, because the time has gone. Get rid of it. I've heard I've heard such miraculous stories. Like one of my favorite things about growing up in church is that I hear a lot of miraculous stories. And so it's not a third witness account. It's not somebody telling me what they heard and saw. It's me watching someone's life experience in real time, knowing that story in real time. There's been people who, by all medical indications, they could not have children. And they were growing older, 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 no child. And then suddenly it happens. And when it happens, God doesn't bless them with just one. He doesn't bless them with just two. They will get triplets. Covering up that journey, because when you marry, is one of the things they tell you. You should have your children as quickly as possible and you should space them properly. So you're calculating, if you want to have two children, you're calculating at least 4 years for that pregnancy and childbirth process. Because when child one is, or 5 years, because pregnancy is almost a year, the child grows to like 2 years old, then you do another pregnant. There's all of that. But stop working with those clocks. Stop working with those clocks. One of the most beautiful things about how God works with us is that when we finally get right, there's speed in that thing. As far as you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, it will be easy and speed will come with it. And that time you are worried about losing, that time that you're worried that has gone, you would see how easily it will compress the time, squeeze it, help you recover the time so fast. Your own is to do. Stop giving yourself excuses not to act. What is this ikotorio long? Go away. Stop giving yourself excuses not to act. Stop giving yourself excuses to stay bound. Stop giving yourself excuses to stay small. Stop giving yourself excuses wrapped in your fear. Wait, guy. Stop giving yourself excuses. Get up. You were supposed to do it 5 years ago, but you did not. But this is a year. This is another year. You can do it this year. If there are reasons why you cannot, examine it fully. Examine it fully. How do I go about this? How do I navigate this? Make the plan. Prepare to do it. It's by yourself. See, when in that scripture where the Lord tells them to enlarge their tents. Let me just read it out. I don't want to paraphrase today because my brain is even in a slower mode due to this weather. This gray skies and all. This is in Isaiah, right? Let me just look for it. Isaiah. Okay. So this is Isaiah 54. I'm gonna start from verse 2 straight away. It says, enlarge the place of your tent, stretch your tent curtains wide, do not hold back, lengthen your cords, strengthen your stakes, for you will spread out to the right and to the left, your descendants will dispossess nations and settle in their desolate cities. Do not be afraid, you will not be put to shame. And then it goes on just to tell them about the blessings that are coming. But it starts them out with enlarge the place of your tent. Stretch out your tent curtains wide. Do not hold back. That thing that you are hoping and praying for, right? It will not just come because you're hoping and praying and you are ready in your heart. It will come when you move. You have to move. You have to move. You have to get up. You have to enlarge the place of your tent. You have to strengthen your cord. You have to get moving. It's not late. There's no such thing. When we say, it's late now, it's late now. is when the doors are finally closed. One of the very concepts that talk to lateness, that speak to lateness for me, is the story of the five wise virgins and the five foolish virgins. Five of them had extra oil in their lamp for the wait. Five did not. They went to get oil, and when they went, before they came back, the bridegroom had come and the door was closed. And every time I think of that story, I think to myself, if they had just realized before their lamps truly went out, if they could have gone and brought more oil at any time. Don't wait till your lamp goes out. Don't stay in that your excuse or till your lamp goes out. They probably knew that the oil was low based on how it was burning already in that place. There's nothing that says you cannot leave there and go and get the oil. The problem is in waiting till everything actually snuffs out, waiting till it's actually really too late. Don't do that. Don't do that. Move. Get going. Get going. Get going. This is going to be a short live, right? Because all I wanted to tell you today is it's not late. And as you see, I didn't do this with like all the 1 million scriptures. I normally bring here. See the these echoes are annoying me. I need to go and do all the thing that my mom does with white thread or drink a lot of water. I can't drink a lot of water right now. But my point, and all I'm trying to say is it's not late. It's not late. As far as you are alive, it is not late. Because when there is life, there is hope. So it is not late. You can do it. You can started today. You can get on track today and still find your way. It's not late. And something that can help you get out of that mindset is to stop comparing yourself. Comparison will make you feel like you are behind in every single way. So stop that comparison. Stop comparing yourself to people whose lives you're not living. You're not living anybody's life. You're not in their personal journey. You are living your own one life. Stop comparison. Don't compare yourself. Stop comparing. Stop looking at other people and thinking, maybe if I was, maybe if I didn't, maybe if I had. Focus on your focus. Focus on the narrow path before you, and move when you need to move. Do when you need to do. One of the beautiful thing about seasons is that they repeat themselves. Why not think about time that way? If summer comes and it has gone, next year summer will come again. And that should be for us an illustration, because that's the system that God created. That should be an illustration of the openings that we have in our lives. It should be an illustration of how we can live. If winter comes, this weather now, this harmattan entering into rain, it did not come when it was supposed to come, but it still came because seasons always repeat. It will come. The season will come. If you feel like you lost the season before, it will come again. It's what you do that matters. If last summer I experienced severe sunburn because I went under sun a lot without sunscreen, without any prep for my skin, then I know that this year, the summer of this year, I will lather on sunscreen like no man's business. Sunscreen will be my shield and buckler, the shield and buckler of my skin, right? Because the first summer showed me, the first summer I was not prepared. And so I had to prepare. If last winter I caught a cold, maybe even got infected with pneumonia because of my outfit choices and how I was not conscious of staying warm, you know, then this year's winter, I know better. We're not conscious. You don't even know whether it's Harmattan, whether it's summer, whether it's, you don't know what season it is. You're not conscious. You need to wake up to that consciousness because there are always openings for us in life. As seasons come and go, there are always openings for us to do things, but you need to be conscious of them. If last summer I my hair broke off a lot because the heat and humidity was making it hard to comb out. This year, when summer is coming, I'm ready. Oh, I mean, actually, it's more winter. If last winter my hair broke off a lot because the dryness of the weather was making my hair strands brittle and they were just breaking off. Then this year, when winter is coming, I'm ready. Protective hairstyle, constant locked in moisture. I might put these locks in cornrows and wear wigs all through because I know what happened the last time. It's that consciousness of the fact that seasons are circular. It's a cycle. And if it's a cycle, if you miss the first turn, life was acting up. I think I wasn't up for a while. I think I wasn't up for a while. I feel like a chunk of the life cut out. I don't know. I'm not because it was working, but it felt like it wasn't working. But yeah, it's not late. You know, you can still make that move. You can still do that thing. You can still go ahead. God is with you on that journey, right? And if you ask for help, He will help you. And that's all I came to say. And if this resonated with you, if this reminded you of yourself in any way, if this encouraged you, if this, just spoke to you in some way, then I'm blessed already because that's why I did this. And I do this every day at 6:30 a.m. to 7:30 a.m. Give or take a few minutes, but it's within that hour. So yes, I will see you tomorrow. Have a blessed day. Bye.